I've heard it said that to create a marriage that will last the test of time, you need two magic ingredients: compatibility and commonality. The more compatible you are and the more things you have in common, the better your chances are of staying out of divorce courts. As a little girl, I would regularly find myself dreaming about getting married. It seemed like this magical experience similar to winning the lottery. It was the event that would change your whole life, just like Cinderella. In my imagination, I would see myself walking down the aisle to the man of my dreams in a long flowing white dress. It would be the best day of my life. And of course, we would live happily ever after. And while I skipped rope with my primary school friends and planned our weddings, my 7-year-old fanciful heart, who loved daydreaming about her knight in shining armour, also knew that it was never going to happen. See, I knew all too well marriage is the best thing in the world, while somehow simultaneously being the very worst thing that could ever happen to you. I'd seen it happen time and time again in my family and every other home I knew. There wasn't one marriage or family I saw that I ever wanted to replicate. And who was I that my life could somehow be any different? If nobody I knew had ever found true unending love, what chance did I have? Marriage was the single thing that I dreamed about the most, while at the same time the thing I feared more than death. But here I am, 30 years old and married to my high school sweetheart and best friend. Today just happens to be 7 years since we vowed to cherish each other until our dying day. And to be honest, I didn't think this could ever have been possible. Love is just way too risky. My chances at finding true love were very slim at best, and at worst, impossible. But we're still here, against all the odds. How did we do it? Well, if it's all about things in common, then let's start there. Jade is a pro skateboarder, while me, let's just say I could fall over my own shadow. Jade likes smooth peanut butter, while I, on the other hand, prefer mine extra crunchy. Jade is also an adrenaline junkie, with many scars to prove it. And while I love being spontaneous and adventurous, I don't particularly find death-defying feats a pleasant pastime. I love to have my whole day planned out and enjoy ticking off to-do lists, while Jade doesn't keep a planner at all. And if it comes down to compatibility, there's many aspects of life that we don't share the same ideas or perspectives on. In all honesty, the biggest reason why we're still madly in love and best friends is because of who we chose not to be. We know personally what it's like to be in homes and cultures that are resistant to change, growth and health. We know what it's like to be a product of time and chance. We know what it's like to be stuck in generational cycles of abuse, toxic thinking patterns and abnormal normals. We know what brokenness looks like and feels like. And we chose that as a couple, we're not going to repeat that. We're going to step outside of those cycles. We're not going to avoid healing. We're not going to avoid growth, change and development. We're going to fight to be healthy, even if it means stepping out of denial and telling the truth. We chose to run towards healing and towards each other, because we know stagnation and resistance to growth only brings an end to everything meaningful in life. We saw what we didn't want, and we knew what we wanted. friendship, love, romance, a happy ever after, a lifetime of love. And so we set about creating that. We sought healing, and still do, every day. We make each other our number one person.
Preparing for the muzzy season.
There is no other human that comes before us or in between us. We decided on what is most important to us in this life, and we've been spending our time on that ever since. Marriage has turned out to be the best thing that has happened to us, just the way God planned it to be. And instead of fighting against each other, we're fighting for each other, for the rest of eternity. I didn't think any man like this existed. A man who is actually better than I could ever have imagined. But he does. And he's mine.